Morning students. Today our topic is chemical properties of amines. So in last three previous classes we discussed about the chemical properties of the amines. So first we start with the amines classification. So what is called amines? The amines are derivatives of ammonia in generally. So we have the three types of amines like primary amines, secondary amines and tertiary amines. So now we discussed about the classification of amines. After that we will go to our chemical properties. Okay. Now we start with the simple introduction of amines classification. Okay. So first we have three types of amines. Primary amines and secondary amines and tertiary amines. So generally the amines are ammonia derivatives. So this is the ammonia NH3. In place of hydrogen we are substitution alkyl groups. Like if you substitution one hydrogen by the one alkyl, that we call as a primary amine. So this is the primary amine. The secondary amines, so we are substitution two hydrogen by two alkyl groups, like two R's. So R mean any one of the alkyl groups. So the tertiary means the three hydrogen substitution by the amines classification, primary and secondary, tertiary. The primary amines further classified into three types: primary alkyls, primary amine, and secondary alkyl, primary amine, and tertiary alkyls, primary. So these are the amines classification. So we have very well know about the aliphatic aromatic amines also. So now we discussed about the chemical properties of the amines. So we already some of the reactions completed. So we will discuss it in this class. So oxidation reactions of amines. So we start with the oxidations of the amines. So what is the oxidation reagents? In generally we have the KMnO4 is the one of the strongest oxidizing reagent. KMnO4 or potassium dichromate, sodium potassium dichromate. These are all strongly oxidizing agents. So now we start with the potassium permanganate. So we start with primary alkyl, primary amine. So if primary alkyl, primary amine involving in oxidation process, so what is happening? So first of all we take a simple example. So this is the primary alkyl, primary amine. So this is primary alkyl, primary amine involving in the oxidation process under the KMnO4 condition, KMnO4 reagents. So in the first step they lose the water molecule from the two hydrogens with the help of KMnO4. So let's see what is happening. So we are getting this product. So the new pi bond, to make a new pi bond at carbon between the nitrogens. So this is the intermediate we are getting. What we call this intermediate? Aldamine. After aldamine we can hydrolysis this aldamine. So what is the product? Aldehyde is the products. So from primary alkyls, primary amine, so undergo involving in oxidation process to produce the aldehyde is the products. So this is the a primary alkyl, primary amine. So we take a simple example. Let's see preparation of acetaldehyde from simple examples of primary amines. Okay. So if you take ethylamine, so this is the ethylamine, one of the primary amine. Ethylamine also one of the primary amine. So this is also one of the example of primary alkyl, primary amine. Primary alkyl, this carbon having only one carbon attached with only one carbon, that's why we call as a primary carbon. So this is the primary alkyl, primary amine example of ethylamine. So let's see this compound involving in the oxidation process. We are getting this intermediate CH and double bond NH. We lose here one nitrogen, we lose here one nitrogen with the help of oxygen to remove the water molecule. After we are getting aldamine, so hydrolysis this aldamine to produce the acetaldehyde is the product. Acetaldehyde is the product. From ethylamine to we are preparing acetaldehyde. So this is the process in the oxidation process to prepare the acetaldehyde from ethylamine. So let's see what is happening. The secondary alkyl primary amine involving in the oxidation process. Okay. So secondary alkyl primary amine. So what is the example of secondary alkyl primary amine? So this is the secondary carbon. This is the example of secondary alkyl primary amine. This carbon have secondary carbon. Because of this carbon attached with two different alkyl groups are alkyl primary amine. So this one primary amine. So involving in the oxidation process KMnO4 under the KMnO4 reagent to lose the water molecule from here to form the new pi bond between the carbon and nitrogen. So this is the product we are getting. So this product we call as a ketamine. So this ketamine after hydrolysis, we are getting the ketone is the product. So ketone is the products from secondary alkyl primary amines involving in oxidation process. So we are getting the ketone is the product. For example, if you take the primary alkyl primary amine involving in the oxidation process, we are getting acetaldehyde or aldehyde is the product. So that is the difference between the secondary alkyl and primary amines. Let's see. So to prepare from secondary alkyl primary amine to acetone prepare. So acetone preparation. Now we see simple examples to take to prepare the acetone. So CH3H. This is what is the IUPAC name of this compound? 1, 2, 3. 2-amino propane. So this is the IUPAC name of this compound. Involving in this compound in oxidation process to prepare the ketamine. So this ketamine we are getting ketamine. So this is the ketamine we are getting after hydrolysis. This ketamine to prepare the acetone is the product. From acetone is the product. From 2-amino propane 2 we are preparing acetone. Okay, let's see what is happening if tertiary alkyl. Start with the tertiary alkyl primary amines involving in oxidation process. What is the products? So we already discussed about the primary alkyl primary amines. To see what is happening the tertiary alkyls primary amines involving in oxidation process. So this is the simple example we take. So this one as tertiary alkyl primary amine involving in oxidation process to get the nitro compounds is the products. So this amino group directly involving in oxidation process to produce the nitro group is the product. So we are getting the nitro alkanes is the products. Let's see what is happening with the simple example. If you take the tertiary butyl alkyl to react with KMnO4. So this KMnO4 we are getting to react to oxidation to tertiary butyl primary amine, to form the tertiary nitro compound. So this is the, so let's see the secondary amines involving in oxidation process. So secondary amines. So this is the secondary amine, the diamine, the nitrogen compound directly attached with the two alkyl groups. That's why we call as a secondary amine. So the 2 moles of secondary amines involving in this reaction to form the, in presence of KMnO4, oxidation reagents. So we are getting this newly bond formation between the two nitrogens, a sigma bond formation between the two nitrogens. So let's see what is the products. So this is the products. This products we call as a tetra alkyl hydrazine. Tetra alkyl hydrazine is the products. Let's see what is happening if some of the example we take dimethylamine to react in the secondary amine example. So what is the product we are getting involving in this oxidation process? So okay, the second dimethylamine. So this is the dimethylamine involving in oxidation process. We lose the 2 hydrogen from secondary amines to newly bond formation between the 2 nitrogens, a sigma bond. So this product we are getting, what is the product? Tetramethyl hydrazine is the products. So let's see what is happening if the tertiary amines are involving in oxidation process reaction. Okay, so tertiary amines. So this is the tertiary amine involving in oxidation process. So what is the product? N-oxide. So this is the N-oxide we form from tertiary amines. So we have 3 types of amines. The primary amines, primary alkyl primary amine involving in this reaction, the product is aldehyde. If the secondary alkyls primary amines involving in this reaction, products are ketones. The tertiary alkyl primary amine involving in this reaction, nitro compound we are getting. So let's see what is happening if the secondary amines involving in this reaction, hydrazine, alkyl, tetra alkyl hydrazine is the product. Tertiary amines are involving in this reaction, N-oxides are products. So let us see the aromatic amines involving in oxidation process. So what is the products? So first we start with the aromatic amine. So this is the simple primary aromatic amine, we know very well. So what is the name of this compound? Aniline. Aniline is one of the example of aromatic primary amine involving in oxidation process in presence of trifluoroacetic acid to form the nitrobenzene. Nitrobenzene is the product. For example, in case of aniline, reaction with strong oxidizing agents like KMnO4, sodium dichromate. So this is the strong oxidizing agents. So what is the products? The benzoquinone, para-benzoquinone is the product. So this is the para-benzoquinone. Para-benzoquinone is the product. So these are the aromatic amines involving in the oxidation reaction. So some of the condensation reaction we are conducting here. So for example, the aromatic amines involving in condensation reaction to produce the benzaldehyde aniline like. So the benzaldehyde to react with aniline to produce the benzaldehyde aniline. So this is the condensation reaction between the carbon and nitrogen to form the newly sigma bonds. So let's we discuss about the condensation of with the carbonyl compounds to aromatic amines. So we start with the aromatic amines reaction, the condensation reaction between the aromatic amines with aromatic aldehydes. Aromatic amines with aromatic aldehydes. So let's we see the aromatic amine and aromatic aldehyde. So we take a simple examples of both of them. The simple example of aromatic primary amine we called as a aniline. So this is the one of the example of aromatic primary amines. So what is the aromatic aldehyde? Benzoaldehyde is the aromatic aldehyde. So let's we see what is happening. The amine, primary aromatic amine to react with aromatic aldehyde. So involving in the condensation process to get the benzaldehyde aniline. These two reactants to involving in the condensation process. Let's see. So the reaction. This is very simple reaction. The amine involving in this reaction to lose the water molecule from both of them. So aniline and benzaldehyde to lose the water molecule. So we make the new bond between the nitrogen and carbon with the double bond. So nitrogen with carbon double bond. So this is the product that we called as a benzaldehyde aniline. So this is we called also one of the famous named compound ship base. So this is the reaction from the condensation between the aniline and benzaldehydes. So let's discuss some of the electrophilic substitution reactions on aniline. So first we discussed about the what is the effect of amino group in aniline. So generally the amino group act as a pair of electrons donating to the ring. So that's why it is act as a plus Me group. What is called plus Me group? Positive mesomeric effect groups. That means it is donating to the pair of electrons towards the ring. So that we call as a plus Me group. So this is act as a plus Me group. So this plus Me group, so under involving two types of reactions, very especially it is electron rich. So that's why involving in electrophile reactions. So the electrophilic reactions take place at aniline ortho comma para direction because of their electron rich places at ortho and para position. So let's see. So how it is ortho and para positions are compared to meta position, very electron rich. Let's see the resonance structures of aniline. Okay, the simple we can understanding the electron rich places of aniline substitution. So firstly we know the very well the aniline, the amino group act as a plus Me groups. That means the pair of electrons it is donating to towards the ring. So at that time we have the electron richness at ortho position. This is the ortho position, the pair of electron donating to the ring to we are getting this resonance structure. After that, these resonance structures involving in the resonance, the electron richness again entering into the para position. This is the ortho position, this one para position. So that's why the newly entered electrophile at ortho comma para position, substitution on ortho comma para position, because of this reason. So this is the ortho position is we have electron rich and para position electron rich. Because of electrophile is very electron less particle, that means if you take the any electrophile like Cl plus or NO2 plus, these are all very less electrons, it is more attractive to the electron richness places. So that is happening. So let's see what is happening. So some of the reactions. So we done some of the reactions of the electrophile substitution reaction. We start with sulfonation reaction. The sulfonation reaction takes place at, so this is aniline to react with sulfuric acid in presence of sulfur trioxide. So the sulfur will take place at ortho position and para position. So this is the aniline sulfonic acid plus ortho substituted aniline sulfonic acid. The next one para substitution sulfonic acid. So which one is major products when you compare to this both? So we have the substitution on the sulfur trioxide is one of the electrophile examples. So that's why the position take place at ortho and para position. So let's see a simple examples of some of the halogenation reactions. So aniline halogenation reaction. So this halogenation process also one of the electrophile substitution reactions. So the halogenation take place at ortho and para positions of the aniline. So let's see what is happening. So the aniline to react with bromine to prepare the, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positions. So we are getting 2, 4, 6 tribromo aniline is the products. Let's see a simple example. So this aniline does not involving in the electrophilic reaction, Friedel-Crafts alkylation, because of the Friedel-Crafts alkylation. So what is the base we are taking from Friedel-Crafts alkylation? So generally aluminum trichloride or ferric trichloride. These both are Lewis acids, and aniline act as a Lewis base. So that's why they form the salts between the aluminum chloride to react with aniline. So that's why they doesn't involving in the reaction in the Friedel-Crafts alkylation. Let's see. So the separation of primary amines, we have two methods to separate the primary amines. The first one Hofmann method, the second one Innsbruck method. So let's see what is happening. How can you separate the primary and secondary tertiary amines with the samples? Okay. So we start with the simple method, Hofmann method to separation method. So in this Hofmann method we are using the diethyl oxalate. Diethyl oxalate is the reagent. So let's see what is happening. So we are using this reagent in this compound, diethyl oxalate. So this is the diethyl oxalate reagent. So the ET means ethyl group. So this is the reagent we are to use to separate the primary and secondary, tertiary amines. So let's see what is happening the primary, secondary and tertiary amines. How can you separate? So then in generally, so we can separate from camphor and salt. How can you separate camphor from salt? So the camphor is a organic compound, the salt is a polar compound. So generally we can separate from polar and non-polar compounds from their polarity. Like if you take the water and kerosene, the water is a polar compound. Like what is the formula of water? H2O. So that means H plus, the H2O mean H plus and OH minus. Water is a polar compound. The polar compound dissolve solubles in polar solvents only. For example, if you take NaCl, it is a salt, table salt. So Na plus and Cl minus. The polar solvents soluble in polar solvents. So this is the polar solvent water. So that's why the salt is easily soluble in water. If you take a camphor, it is a organic compound. It doesn't soluble in water because of this is a organic compound. It is soluble in the kerosene or hydrocarbon solvents. So because of the camphor is a non-polar solvent, the salt is a polar compound. So the polar compounds always soluble in the polar solvents only. If you take hydrocarbons like methane, these are all non-polars. Methane or ethane, these are all non-polar compounds. So camphor is easily soluble in the kerosene. This is the way we can separate the compounds from their polarity, according to their polarity. Let's see what is happening if you take the Hofmann degradation. Hofmann method to separate the, how can you separate the primary, secondary and tertiary amines. So this is the primary amine. So secondary amine. This one secondary amine. So this one tertiary amine. So we have three amines: primary, secondary and tertiary amines. How can you separate these three amines? So first with these three amines to react with diethyl oxalate. Diethyl oxalate. So the primary amines form the oxamide of primary amines. And secondary amine to form the oxamic esters of secondary amines. So the first two primary amines to form the oxamide of primary amines, to form the oxamides of primary amines. The second one, the secondary amines, oxamic esters of secondary amines. The third one, tertiary amine, does not react with the diethyl oxalic acid. So there is no react with this one. So they can separate from here. The tertiary amine separates from here. So after that, so we are getting two products. So we have primary oxamide and oxamic esters. So this reaction we conduct in HCl KOH. Further we can separate this both. So this is the Hofmann method to use to separate the primary and secondary tertiary amines with the help of ester like oxalic acid ester. Okay, let's discuss about the Innsberg method to separate the. Let's see the Innsberg method to separate the primary and secondary tertiary amines. So Innsberg method to separate the amines. So what is the Innsberg reagent? Benzyl sulfonyl chloride, we call as a Innsberg reagent, or this one tosyl chloride, we called as a Innsberg reagent. Innsberg reagents, we have two reagents. One is benzoyl sulfonyl chloride or tosyl chloride. So as you wish, if you take any one. So can you separate this primary and secondary, tertiary, and we take separate from quaternary ammonia also. Like we will first the primary. So this is the primary. Second one, second tertiary amine. The fourth one quaternary amine. So we have in this process we can separate the quaternary amines also from this process. So we start with a simple solvent we are using, ether. So ether is a non-polar solvent. Only non-polar compounds will soluble in ether. So here we have the polar compound quaternary ammonia. So that's why we can separate here. So after that we are getting this one, RNH2, R primary amine and secondary amine and tertiary amine. So then the tertiary primary amines to react with the sulfonyl chloride. So what is happening in sulfonyl chloride? So here the primary and secondary amines to react with sulfonyl chloride because of they have hydrogen present in the primary and secondary. So the tertiary does not react with the Innsberg reagents. So what is happening? So this intermediate we are getting SO2pH R2N SO2pH. So this tertiary amine does not react with the Innsberg reagent. Let's see. So here in acidic solution, we take to acidic solution in the tertiary amines to react with acidic solution to form the quaternary ammonia salts. Tertiary ammonia salts. So this is also polar compound to separate here. So after that we are getting these two compounds. These two compounds to react with the potassium hydroxide. So potassium hydroxide and aqueous solution. So how can you separate it? The potassium hydroxide to separate here the secondary and the aqueous solution to separate the primary. So this way we are from quaternary first we separate, then tertiary, secondary and primary. So this is the Innsberg method to separate the primary, secondary and tertiary quaternary ammonia salts. Let's see the simple example. So distinguishing tests of amines. So the first one, carbyl amine test. So to identify the amines. For example, if you take aromatic amines, like what is the aromatic amine? Aniline. Aniline to react with chloroform in presence of base potassium hydroxide to form the carbyl amine. So this is the carbyl amine. So this carbyl amine we call as a benzene isocyanate. It is a pungent smell to identify the aniline compound. So we can conduct the carbyl amine test to aniline. So we are getting the pungent smell. So that the sample, the unknown sample, maybe aniline is present. So let's discuss about the azodite test. So azodite test to identify the aniline also. It is also identification test of phenol also. It is also identification test of aniline also. If you take the aniline, aromatic amine, primary amine, to react with aniline, sodium nitrite plus HCl under low temperature 0 to 5 degrees. So we are getting the aryl diazonium salt. This aryl diazonium salt to react with phenol. What is happening? Azodite form. We are getting the azodite, orange azodite form. para hydroxy azodiform. So this we call as a azodi test. This test is identification test of both aniline and phenol also. So this is also one of the important tests to identify the aniline. Let's we discuss about the nitrous acid test to identify the aliphatic amines like primary amines and secondary amines. For the aliphatic amines only nitrous acid test. So the nitrous acid test, especially identification test of secondary amines, because of the secondary amines to react with the nitrous acid to form the yellow oil nitro compound. So this is the very specific reaction to identify the secondary amines only for the nitrous acid test. Yellow oil nitro compounds derivatives and nitro derivatives of the secondary amines identification test. So let's we discuss about the para nitroso test. So this is also aromatic amines to nitrous acid to form this reaction. Next to bromine water test. This test also identify the aromatic amines if the benzene to aniline to react with the bromine to form the 2,4,6 tribromobenzene. So this is two designation test list of amines. So this is today our topic. So tomorrow we will discuss with the aryl diazonium salts preparation. What is the we are using the aryl diazonium salt as an intermediate to prepare the so many compounds. So tomorrow we will discuss with the aryl diazonium salts. So do watch my channel, share my channel and subscribe my channel. Thank you.